Auburn,
¿Qué?
tenemos una persona nueva para este viaje. ¿Quién es la persona nueva?
Bunsy.
¿Ese será su primer viaje? ¿Tú crees que ella sí quiere venir?
Sí.
¿Y cómo crees que se va a portar Bunsy?
Bien.
¿Estás segura? ¿Tú crees que ella va a llorar? ¿Y eso está bien? Ok. ¿A dónde vamos en este viaje?
Belize, México, Guatemala.
Ah, pero yo no sé quién quiere ir.
¡Mi!
¿Tú sí quieres ir? ¿Y cómo vamos a viajar? ¿Cómo vamos a llegar a México?
Acting.
Y cuando lleguemos a México, ¿cómo vamos a viajar? ¿En un tren? ¿En un dinosaurio? ¿En un cohete? ¿O en un carro?
Go.
¿Y quién va a conducir?
Okay. Me.
¿Tú? ¿Pero tú sabes conducir? Yo no sé, but... ¿quién viene en el viaje con nosotros?
Grammy y Grandpa.
¿De veras? ¿Y de nuestra familia quién puede venir?
Bunsy.
¿Y quién más?
Oven.
¿Quién más?
Mommy.
¿Y?
Cuddly.
¿Y?
Daddy.
¿Y pueden venir también otras personas?
No.
A ver, Connie, ponte uno de esos aquí. Uno de los más grandes. ¿Sí puedes o no?
Connie, you can do this one. Oh no.
¿Qué cosas vamos a ver en esta vacación?
Cenotes, ruinas, monos, iguanas.
¿Tú puedes decirme qué es un cenote?
Un hueco en la tierra
Donde hay...
donde hay agua.
Ah, ok. ¿Y tú, qué quieres hacer con el agua en el cenote?
Mojar los pies.
¿Mojar los piececitos?
Ajá.
Perfecto. ¿Tú crees que va a ser mucho calor en México?
Sí.
Creo que sí, ¿no? Por eso tenemos que ir también a
¿La qué?
la playa en Cancún para nadar. ¿Sí o no? ¿Y qué idiomas hablan las personas en México?
Spanish.
Y-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Así hablan, ¿verdad? ¿Tú sabías que en Palenque hay un animal que vive en los árboles? ¿Qué tipo de animal podría ser?
Lion.
No. Es un animal que cuelga de los árboles y dice... ¿Qué animal podría ser?
Monkey.
¿Tú quieres ver monos? ¿Tú crees que los monos te van a atacar? Entonces, ¿qué vas a tener tú que hacer?
I'm going to talk to them.
¿Vas a hablar con los monos para que no te ataquen?
No.
Perfecto. ¿Y qué pasa si los monos atacan a Bunsy? ¿Qué vas a hacer tú?
I'm going to talk to them so they don't.
Para que no lo hagan. Perfecto. Entonces yo no tengo que cargar nada. Tú tienes todo, ¿verdad?
I'm going to carry the backpack.
Ok.
I'm going to carry the backpack. I'm going
Okay.
to walk with the backpack, and y'all can walk with some ants.
What are you looking forward to seeing most on this trip?
I think the two things I'm looking forward to most, the first one would be Chichen Itza, because I want to cross off my list of wonders of the world. And then I've always heard about Cancun, and I've had lots of friends visit there and heard how wonderful it is, so I have pretty high expectations for the beach there.
So, being just a few hours away from the trip, nerves usually running high at this point. Tell us how you are emotionally.
I actually, for some reason, don't have nerves this time, and I think it might be because my brain has really been focused on us moving instead of taking the trip. So,
See, a small part of me hopes that you've actually learned from previous trips that there indeed is nothing to worry about.
I mean, I'm still hoping and praying that our children don't get sick or that, we get robbed at gunpoint or anything, but I'm not really that concerned. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Dude, that is progress.
Careful.
There you
Okay,
go.
Connie, wait a second.
And there you go.
Alright.
¿Esas son tus cosas para el viaje, bud? 4 in the morning on game day. Time to get the kids up. Conley. Conley. Conley, bud. ¿Sabes lo que vamos a hacer? Tengo que prender tu luz, bud. Es hora de ir a México. ¿Quién quiere ir? Oh, perfecto, bud. 4 o'clock wake up call, 5 o'clock check in. ¿Todos listos?
Sí.
Sí, bud. ¿Qué cargaste tú? ¿Tu asiento? Perfecto. ¿Y Auburn tú?
My car seat.
Perfecto.
Budsy.
¿También lista? ¿Estamos casi listos para ir?
Chichen Itza.
¿Sí o no?
Chichen Itza.
Can you please hold this? I'm gonna have to go through this.
And this will be our hopefully faithful Steve. So here's a nice little trick they can apparently play on you in Mexico. You pick up a rental car and it only has a quarter tank of gas. You start driving because the highway's right there and think, I'll just get gas at the next gas station. Until you see a sign that says next gas station in 100 miles. And oh, by the way, there's no exits between now and then. So basically we're on empty and are now within, I think, about 10 miles. Oh, here's our update. Can you get that? So we're 12 miles away from gas. Yeah, hopefully this works out for us. Thanks to a gas station in Valladolid, we are now here just outside of Chichen Itza with some special guests. Sister Hill and
Elder Hill.
Elder Hill,
Buenas noches, buen provecho.
enjoying some local cuisine. ¿Todo bien, bud? First stop for us here on our Yucatan road trip brings us to the famed ancient Maya city of Chichen Itza, a site that was recently selected as one of the 7 new wonders of the world, joining the ranks of the Great Wall of China, Petra, and the Taj Mahal. Now, despite the accolade, Chichen Itza is probably not the most impressive Mayan ruins that you can see. In fact, in terms of sheer scale of architecture, the structures here at Chichen Itza pale in comparison to what you'd find at Tikal or a handful of other sites throughout the Yucatan Peninsula. What this site does have, though, are ruins that are in an excellent state of preservation and which have been very well restored. And above all, it's extremely accessible. It's only 2 hours by road to Cancun, just an hour from Mérida, so it makes a very convenient and easy day trip for people vacationing in that area. Now, much of the acclaim that Chichen Itza has received owes to the building you see behind me, which is El Castillo, or the Pyramid of Kukulkan. It's a structure that, like Chichen Itza itself, was actually built twice, once around 800 AD by the original Maya who inhabited this area, and then again a couple centuries later under the influence or perhaps even direct control of the Toltecs, another pre-Columbian civilization here in Mexico that came from the Mexico City area. Now, to really appreciate the Pyramid of Kukulkan, we're going to have to take a closer look, and I'm going to jump behind the camera to walk you through it. Now, you've probably heard of the Mayan calendar. In fact, the calendar was world news a little while ago when it, at the end of 2012, supposedly failed to predict the end of the world. That isn't actually what it was doing, but that's another story. In any case, that Mayan calendar is heavily reflected in the architecture of the Pyramid of Kukulkan. For example, here on the left, you can see that there are a number of small steps leading to the top of the pyramid. There are 91 in total, multiplied by the 4 sides of the pyramid, and counting the single platform at the top, that gives a total of 365 steps, which of course is the number of days in the solar year. You can also see that each side of the pyramid has a number of distinct panels. There are 52 per side, and that is in recognition of the number of years it takes for the solar calendar, the 365-day one, to sync up with the 260-day short count sacred calendar of the Maya, which was used for religious observances. Finally, you can see here, looking at the side, that the pyramid is actually segmented into a number of terraces. There are 9 per side, and since those are divided by the staircase in the middle, that gives 18 terrace sections per side of pyramid. Now 18 is the number of months that the Mayans had in their calendar. They had 20-day months, and 18 times 20 being 360, they simply added an additional 5 days at the end of each year to round out the 365-day solar calendar year.
She's just a seed when you meet her, not much to see in her, and little you take notice of. Only a grain of potential, but no sign of when she'll be anything you'd come to love. But she'll change a little each day, take small steps on the way in a season, and base all her own. And she'll take the time that she needs. She's not in it for speed, so all you can do is stand back and just let her go. Reach for the sun on her own, and watch all her colors unfold in petals of pink, orange, and gold. Hardly the child we knew, she's only starting out, feeling this garden out, finding her space and her room. Until there comes the day she takes your breath away, just like a flower in bloom. She'll test the soil all around her, the strength of the ground for a place where she can take a root. 'Cause she's only looking to grow right, for water and sunlight and time to see all this through. And she'll find a way to your heart, help you lower your guard and see beauty that you've never known. And soon enough you'll understand it's all out of your hands. So all you can do is stand back and just let her go. Reach for the sun on her own, and watch all her colors unfold in petals of pink, orange, and gold. Hardly the child we knew, she's only starting out, feeling this garden out.
Alright, so this is the entrance to cenotes, or Tzignoop, depending on how you prefer to call it. This is one of the many cenotes here throughout the Yucatan Peninsula. Areas where the limestone has collapsed or eroded and exposed the groundwater underneath, leaving what looks like just a huge cavern of stalagmites and stalactites and beautiful clear water underneath, perfect for swimming in. This one happens to be almost entirely enclosed, and because of that there's the artificial lighting you see here. But there is in fact one small little hole at the top which does let in a little bit of daylight. We'll see here in a minute. You probably can't see it in the video, but the ceiling is covered with bats, which means that the top of the water is covered with a bit of guano as well. But this is just spectacular. This is my cenote debut. You're going to see an awesome dive here into this cenote. Alguien tiene que contar.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I close my eyes and I still see you there. I close my heart and feel you everywhere. Girl, I want you, but it's more than I can bear. When you're not here with me, I'd be better off if I could just let you go and find a way to come in from the cold. Girl, I want you, but you're so hard to hold. When you're not here with me, oh, I'm not supposed to fall this easy. Oh, I shouldn't be here on my knees, but time alone is only a reminder that I'm lost when you're not here with me. I'm not supposed to fall this easy. Oh, I shouldn't be here on my knees, but time alone is only a reminder that I'm lost when you're not here with me. I close my eyes and I still see you there. I close my heart and feel you everywhere.
So we are out in the middle of nowhere here in Mexican boondocks looking for cenote Cancun. Once again following a few comments that were left
I see
online
inside there.
and hoping that those are right.
Mommy, I see inside
But we did
there.
just pass a Mexican in Yankee hat who, while pointing the gun at me inadvertently, confirmed the direction. So we'll see just where this leads.
As you may notice, we're not going forward anymore because this road just will not allow cars. So we're gonna make a turnaround, and Simon and Brad are gonna try and do this by foot.
So, with the car now parked back at the main road, we continue on foot for what we hope is only a mile. My partner for the run, the man, the myth, the legend, Grandpa, throwing down. All right, Having followed all instructions, we are what should be cenote Cancun. And sure enough, there's a hole in the ground, which if you're looking for a cenote is a pretty good sign. Oh yes, this is already looking nice. I would like to take this opportunity to also point out once again that the internet has not let us down.
But always ends up back with me. 'Cause all this time I've thought about how things could be if you want them to. If you'd open up that door. I know you're not the kind to say these things out loud, but I can see the way you act when I'm around. I think it's time we finally got this off the ground. If you're wanting to, if you open up that door, if you're ready to, if you let me, girl, tonight, when all the lights go up in the sky and all the world's asleep, you and I can stop what we've held up all this time. We'll start about the time the sun is getting low, along a path that leads to only heaven knows. I've got an ending, I can tell you how it goes. If you want me to, if you open up that door, if you're ready to, if you let me, girl, tonight, when all the lights go up in the sky and all the world's asleep, you and I can start what we've held up all this time. I've waited so long just to see if we could find a time when we were both in line to take the first step, you and me. Oh, and I can't see why it can't be tonight. I've got a notion, I can't seem to shake it free. It comes and goes, but always ends up back with me. 'Cause all this time I've thought about how things could be.
I'll probably carry her.
más mi
Quédate ahí.
corazoncito. Allí. ¡Oh, qué lindo!
Es como un spa con naranja, pero en vez de naranja,
Ellos tienen
mierda de...
niños cuando ellos están muy jóvenes. So, no pueden.
Que hay agua y tiran limones o naranjas en el agua.
Tiran pétalos de rosa.
O pero no, y limones y naranjas. En los spas y eso.
This is the whole scene.
I see a spider.
Did you see the bat?
Yep.
Yeah, we saw the bat too.
It's interesting.
Unas tortillitas
Muchas gracias.
para mis fajitas.
Eso trae lechuga también, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Los lechugas lo enjuagan con...
todo desinfectado.
Excelente. Somos delicados.
Sí, es como acá para manejar el turismo.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Hey,
this is
Connie.
hardly, this is hasta la vista.
All right,
Hasta
you need to
luego.
give a big hug and kiss to Grandma
Hasta
and
pronto.
Grandpa, okay?
Hasta la
Auburn,
próxima
can you give
vez.
Grandpa a big love?
Really growing up, and we love to be
Oh,
with
Auburn.
you. We'll see you again
was
before
already
before a year has
hugging
passed.
me.
We'll see you again.
You got your things, the ones that can't be explained, though they drive me insane, darling. You got your ways, and they just have to be right every day, every night, and it goes on, it just goes on and on and on. Oh, you've always got your reasons and lines, and it's always just your point of view. And I can't let it go on for far too long. So tonight is the last night I'll deal with the things that you do. You got your needs. No matter how hard I try, you just can't be satisfied, darling. You do what you please. It's also perfectly clear to you I'm not even here, and it goes on, girl, you go on and on and on. Oh, you've always got your reasons and lines, and it's always just your point of view. And I can't let it go on for far too long. So tonight is the last night I'll deal with the things that you do. just your point of view. And I have let it go on for far, far too long. So tonight is the last.
Auburn, ¿dónde estamos?
En Edna.
En Edna. Y hasta ahora, ¿qué tal la vacación?
Bien.
¿Qué cosas hemos visto?
Cenotes, pirámides, ruinas.
¿Y qué te ha gustado más?
Cenotes.
Sí, ¿cuántos cenotes vimos?
2.
¿Cuál te gustó más?
El primero.
Ah, ¿y qué hiciste en el primer cenote?
Put our toes in them.
¿Qué tal? ¿Divertido?
Sí.
Ahora, ¿quién estuvo con nosotros los primeros días?
Grandma y Grandpa.
¿Tú te divertiste mucho con ellos?
Sí.
¿Y ahora los extrañas? Yo también. ¿Tú te acuerdas quién construyó esas ruinas? ¿Cómo se llama ese pueblo?
Los Mayan.
¿Y cómo son las ruinas, las pirámides y cosas así? ¿Interesantes?
Sí.
¿Son pequeños?
No.
Son muy grandes, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Auburn, si tú ves a un maya, ¿qué le vas a decir?
No cortas mi cabeza ni quites mi corazón.
Excelente. Trip check-in. This is day 6. We came down yesterday from Ejna through Campeche State, a little bit of Tabasco, and into Chiapas on a 5-hour drive that remarkably did not require a single bathroom break, and during which Sienna actually did not cry at all. So our little road warriors came through once again in the clutch. We're now here in the jungle here in southern Mexico and are ready for a full day of exploration at Palenque, which we think are just going to be world-class ruins, so we are excited to go.
Yesterday, we left the northern Mayan sites and headed down south to the jungle to the beautiful city of Palenque, which we get to explore today. Palenque came to power and prominence when a boy of only 12 years old came to power, and with the help of his mom, he grew this into one of the great city that it was. His name was Tikal the Great, and he ruled until he was 80 years old. Behind me is the Temple of Inscription. This is where they found his remains. When they found him, he was covered in jewels and had a jade death mask. Palenque is a very large site covering 15 square kilometers, but they believe that only 5% of it is actually uncovered. When Palenque came to its demise in 900 AD, it was covered by the jungle, and today we are still uncovering the many secrets that it has to hold.
Across the miles tonight, the empty space and lights, the distance separating you from me. The hours spent lost in thought, the lonely streets I walk are only keeping me from places I was meant to be. 'Cause I get weak when we're apart, when I can't see you from this far. When I'm alone, there's no place I'm alright. The shadows fall, the nights won't end till you come back to me again. And until then, I'm holding out for you across the mile. And on the air tonight, as I turn out the lights, the scent of you still lingers in the wind. there's no place I'm alright. The shadows fall, the nights won't end till you come back to me again. And until then, I'm holding out for you across the line. The shadows fall, the nights won't end till you come back to me again. And until then, I'm holding out for you across the miles. Oh, 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 across the
Okay, Connie, ¿dónde estamos hoy? En
Palenque.
¿Y cómo te gusta Palenque?
Good.
Ahora nosotros ya hemos estado de vacación 6 días. ¿Qué cosas hemos visto?
Cenotes.
¿Y?
Beaches.
Playas y qué más?
Airports.
¿Qué?
Airports.
¿Aeropuerto también? Sí. ¿Quién nos acompañó los primeros días de la vacación?
Guapa.
¿Y tú te divertiste con ellos?
Ajá.
Bien. ¿Cómo se está portando Siena?
Mala.
Mal. ¿Pero tú crees que ella se va a portar mejor?
Just like me.
Así como tú. Ok. ¿Tú alguna vez también te portaste así? ¿Llorando mucho? ¿Nunca? No trip for us would be complete without a little stopping for provisions. Auburn, ¿sí se puede cenar en un supermercado o no?
Sí.
Sí se puede, ¿no?
Oh, Daddy.
Heavy.
Get up out of here.
Oh, Daddy.
Daddy.
I've got it all packed up to go. The cardboard boxes and the suitcase by the door. 1,000 memories for the road. small reminders I'll take everywhere I go of all the highs and lows, all the years I am leaving far behind me for the last time down this road, till I find the next place that I can call my home. Ain't too much wrong in town tonight, but it's been too long since there's been that much right. I can't even remember why I've held on here so long, instead of saying my goodbyes to all the highs and lows, all the years I am leaving far behind me for the last time down this road, till I find the next place that I can call my home. There was a time when this town was the world to me, a time that I thought this place had it all. But more and more I'm seeing only reasons for me to leave. Now the world feels so much bigger, and this place feels so small. I've got it all packed up to go, the cardboard boxes and the suitcase by the door, 1,000 memories for the road, just small reminders I'll take wherever I go of all the highs and lows, all the years I am leaving far behind me for the last time down this road, till I find the next place that I can call my home, that I can call my home.
It's day 8 for us on our trip, and that brings us to the Mayan ruins of Calakmul, the ruins that you see here behind me. Calakmul was one of the great centers of power of the Mayan world. It's a city that was a constant rival with other powerhouses like Tikal and Palenque, but which, despite its size and historical prominence, doesn't receive too many visitors because it's extremely remote. We're probably about 3 hours away from the nearest town of consequence here, so we really are out in the middle of nowhere with Calakmul. Taking a step back though, those of you viewing at home have certainly noticed a recurrent theme in the attractions that we're visiting on this trip, and that's the Mayans, because that's what this trip is about for us. It's about the Mayans and their empire. Perhaps not an empire in the conventional sense with a single capital or unified centralized leadership. The Mayan were more a collection of city-states, largely independent but connected by some important commonalities like language and religion. Now these Mayan city-states, oft-times allies with one another, oft-times outright enemies with one another, spanned the geographic region from southern Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, all the way south to what is present-day Honduras, and they ruled and dominated that area for over 1,000 years. But just what does the Mayan resume look like? Well, it's an impressive one. Here are just a sample of things that they have to their credit. First, mathematics. Not only did the Mayans devise their own numerical or counting system, a base 20 or vigesimal system, but they're also credited with being amongst the first to correctly use and identify the need for the number 0. an accomplishment which eluded both the Greeks and the Romans. Then there's language and written records. While we don't have too many written records directly left over from the Mayans, the Popol Vuh, an important religious text, being the one notable exception there, the Mayans did leave for us a number of engravings with a system of glyphs which had both pictorial and phonetic elements. Those glyphs left in a number of the ruins, like the ones you see behind me, tell most of the story that we know today of the Mayans. And then of course there's the architecture. Well, the footage you've seen yourself, but what you may not know and what makes this all the more impressive is that the Mayan built these cities largely without the use of pack animals, metal tools, or the wheel. ¿Qué? Ustedes pueden continuar.
Let's go in. This.
Yeah, mommy, wait a second, buddy.
Look, houses.
Ese es un templo de Tikal, Álvaro. Ese templo muy grande
This big, really big.
es un templo de Tikal.
And what is?
¿Quién es eso? No, no se pudo. Pero ¿de qué ciudad viene este templo?
Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza. Esas son las direcciones, Auburn. Sur, este,
Connie, you push that one. The up, okay. East, oeste, and north. Okay, Conley, Auburn, push that one.
And what should I do?
This is, Daddy, these are
I'll push this.
these are names of people that ruled.
This one.
Possibilities. I know the turns I need to make, and still I get them wrong. I can't believe how fast a chance expires, how innocently time retires. It washes away without a trace that it's gone. And I can't wait this anymore. And I can't take this like before, like before. So here I am, alive till I'm gone. One more time on my own to rise and stand. Make of this world what it could be. As long as I'm alive, I'll give it one more ride. I'll take this life. I'm waiting on the chance to fly. It's not that I'm afraid to try. I'm just a little broken and not sure where I belong. I can't believe the bridges that I've burned, the pages that I've left unturned, the Times I've washed away without a trace that I've gone, and I can't wait this anymore, and I can't take this like I did before, like before. So here I am, alive till I'm gone, one more time on my own to rise and stand, make of this world what it could be. As long as I'm alive, I'll give it one more ride. I'll take this life.
So we have almost come full circle. We're just an hour south of Cancun now, which is where we started out 10 days ago. We're here in Tulum, coming up on the halfway mark of our trip. So give us your initial impressions, what we've seen, what you liked, what you didn't.
I like Mexico. I know it took a long time to convince me to come, but I like it. I really like the ruins, most of them. I wasn't too high on Calakmul. But we've had a great time and spent the today at another set of ruins here in Tulum and the beaches, and the weather's been absolutely perfect except for a little overcast today, and kids have been great, everyone's healthy. Yeah, really high on this place.
Now, when you say the kids have been great,
well,
that's a bit of a generalization, is it not?
yes.
Why don't you give us an overview of what's coming up over the next few days on the trip?
Tomorrow we head up to Playa del Carmen and hit some cenotes on the way, and then we spend the night there, do the beach, get to go to church, and then we head to Cancun, where we get to spend 2 lazy days on the beach just enjoying, and then we return our rental car and get on an overnight bus and head to Guatemala.
Off to another cenote. This is Cenote Cristalino. Now back on the coast. Let's see how the cenotes here look, as opposed to those we saw a bit inland by Valladolid. ¿Quién quiere ver un cenote?
He never thought that he'd win her heart. She never doubted he would. And he never dreamed he could do half the things he found himself doing when she thought he could. He was just a dropout from South Arizona, no plan to speak of till she caught his eye. But something about having her in his corner was like finding wings and then learning to fly. So going back to night school to get that diploma no longer seemed out of reach. She sees the light at the end of his tunnel. He believes in him even when no one else can. And she's all he needs to believe in a heaven. So he'd be the first one to tell you that what makes a man is a woman. When they found out 2 lives would soon become 3, he wondered how he everything they'd ever need was right there between them, so they'd be alright. And sure enough, time brought both babies and raises, and somehow the numbers worked out. 'Cause she sees the light at the end of its tunnel, and she's got her dreams in the palm of his hand, and she's all he needs to believe in a heaven. So he'd say without hesitation that what makes a man is a woman. 3 generations look up to him now. Friends far and wide do the same. But if you ask him to sum himself up in a word, he'd just tell you her name. 'Cause she is the light at the end of his tunnel, and he's got his dreams in the palm of her hand, and he knows in her he's already found heaven. So he'd be the first one to tell you that what makes a man, what makes a man.
Auburn y Connie, ¿qué cosas hemos hecho ya en la vacación? ¿A dónde hemos ido?
A la playa.
A la playa. ¿A qué playa fuimos?
La playa de Tulum.
La playa de Tulum. ¿Y estamos comiendo comida nueva?
¿Sí?
Por ejemplo, ¿qué?
Tacos.
Tacos y
Hamburguesas.
hamburguesas, pero eso no es nueva. ¿Qué más comimos? ¿Qué comimos anoche?
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas. ¿Cuántas quesadillas comiste tú, Connie?
2.
¿Cuántas querías comer?
100.
Pero ¿cuántos comiste?
2.
¿Y eso sí estuvo bien? Ok.
Oh, I see a fish coming through there.
Una pregunta. ¿Quién se está divirtiendo más, Auburn o Connie?
Me.
¿Están seguros?
Sí.
¿O quizás Mommy y Daddy nos estamos divirtiendo más?
No, me. No, me.
Ah, ok. ¿Y quién se está portando mejor, Auburn o Connie?
Me.
Interesante, ¿no?
If I told you how I felt and laid it all on the line, let you know how long I've spent trying to make you mine. If I were a braver man, maybe I would know what to do, and maybe I would have a chance at ever loving you. 'Cause baby, I'd do anything for you. You wouldn't even have to ask me to. Anytime you call, I'll be there by your side. And I'd go down on my knee, be the one you wanted me to be. Anything at all, any place, anytime, if you were mine. You're always out of reach for me. I was with someone else. I watch you from a distance, but I'm just fooling myself. 'Cause every time I see you, I think of how it would be if only for a moment we were together, you and me. 'Cause baby, I'd do anything for you. You wouldn't even have to ask me to. Anytime you call, I'll be there by.
There's a happy camper. So a little church in Playa del Carmen this morning, swim stop in Puerto Morelos after that, and then on into Cancun, where our first stop is the Auto bus station, where we're going to buy our tickets for Belize City Wednesday nights, and from there, of course, on to Tikal to pick up with the ruins. Next order of business, a duffel bag full of laundry for 2 weeks that the locals have kindly agreed to wash for $1 a kilo. Yes, please. We'll take some of that.
Stay there.
And for a nightcap, our children's first Super Bowl on all 9 inches of our TV here. Welcome to Cancun. These perfect, pristine turquoise waters you see behind me were worth the travel alone. This is one of the chief reasons we came to the Yucatan Peninsula. We've enjoyed a few days now in the area. The kids are absolutely in heaven. They have so much fun jumping up and down with the waves. The temperatures inside and outside the water are perfect. When you look at this pristine coast, it's hard to believe that only 40 years ago, this place was just a sleepy, unsuspecting fishing village that the Mexican government would turn into the next mega resort town. That's how Cancun was born. Not a bad job.
Come to me, out across the waters, open up to me, reach beyond your borders, girl, hold on to me. Come on out of your corners, when the sun meets the horizon, let the music bring the night in, darling. Oh, tonight was made for me and you. Tonight was made to match your rhythm to my mood, and I don't get that from no one else. The feeling I can't control myself, and I know you get that too. Tonight was made for me and you. Move with me, north to south, east to west, and groove with me. Lay your head up on my chest, feel what you do to me. Let the moment do the rest now. When the sun sits on the ocean, let's get you and me in motion, darling. Oh, tonight was made for me and you. Tonight was made to match your rhythm to my mood, and I don't get that from no one else. The feeling I can't control myself, and I know you get that too. Tonight was made for me and you. I come out when the sun goes down. It gets harder when you're around. Start to move and you know just how it should be. 'Cause I'm alone with you in this crowd. Lights are low and the music's loud. So we've got one thing to...
This is day 15 for us on our trip, and since we returned the rental car, we are now wholly reliant on other forms of transportation, which brings us here to the bus station in Cancun at 9:30 at night, waiting for a bus to take us to Belize City. And it kind of seems like it's becoming a tradition on our trips that somewhere in the middle there's going to be a night or two of all-night travel. Bus arrived. Road warriors ready. Very fatigued. Hoping for some rest tonight. Listo, bud? Okay. Auburn, lista? Buenos días, Auburn. ¿Tú sabes dónde estamos?
En un bus.
¿En qué país?
Belize.
Belize. At 4:30 in the morning, we've gone through our second border checkpoint. A few more hours to get into Belize City. So far, so good.
Have a good one.
Safe trip.
Yeah. Take care. You lead the way and then they'll know where to go.
We have made it to Belize City, and now off to look for our bus to Tikal. This is no man's land between Belize and Guatemala. Probably not supposed to be filming here, but I don't think anyone cares. Abricali, ¿cómo estamos?
Bien.
¿Sí? ¿En qué país vamos a entrar?
Guatemala.
¿Les parece? We made it into El Remate this afternoon. Turned out to be a day with a little more excitement than we bargained for. We thought it'd be a simple transfer from Belize City to El Remate, but alas, what happened?
The bus company sold way more tickets than it actually had places on the bus.
A common Central American trick.
And a lot of angry tourists, a very angry bus driver.
Oh yes, people got feisty.
Oh yeah, but we made it.
Cooler heads prevailed, and so did we. And that leaves us here at the lake at El Remate, looking forward to exploring some ruins tomorrow. This is Tikal, perhaps the most grandiose of the Mayan ruins to be discovered and excavated to date. Without question, it's one of the most atmospheric. The ruins here are nearly entirely engulfed by the encroaching jungle here that dominates the northern Petén region of Guatemala. Not to be outdone by Mother Nature, though, Tikal boasts 5 distinct structures which have a height in excess of 40 meters, like the one you see behind me. The tallest of which is an astounding 65 meters high, meaning that if you're looking out at the top of the tree level, you'd see the peaks of the pyramids poking through the jungle canopy, a view which incidentally was used in the filming of the original Star Wars movie. Well, there's so much to explore here at Tikal that we've got to get started, so come on.
Take it all, girl, you get it all. And I never have guessed you could take so much. So high when you're on, so low when I fall. But who'd have believed you would just give up? And I hold on just enough to not let go. So each time you come to mind, I know I'll know that you'll always be the one that left me hoping. And sometimes I think a heart's only made to break and be broken. Sometimes you just know beyond what you see that after it all you'll be left without. But leave it to you to make me believe that this was the time heart's only made to break and be broken. And somewhere tonight you found your wings, and I've lost mine. But nowhere tonight will I understand the reasons why. And I hold on just enough to not let go. So each time you come to mind, I know I'll know that you'll always be the one that left me hoping. And sometimes I think a heart's only made to break and be broken. Oh, you're the reason I think a heart's only made to break and be broken.
We are on our way to Yaxha this morning, and because the roads are only going to get hairier, we have acquired the services of a pickup truck. ¿Quién está listo para ir a Yaxha esta mañana?
Mía.
Pero Auburn no. ¿No quieres ir?
He's ready.
This is the dirt road you take for the last few kilometers to get to Yaxha.
This too.
And as you can tell, it's a bit bumpy. But they actually filmed a season of Survivor out here, so if it was sufficient for their purposes, it's certainly sufficient for our purposes.
Mommy, look at me.
I know that you mean well. You're by yourself and you just want some company. Just a thought the time for that had long gone by. I guess you never know, can't ever tell how things will turn out in the end. But to see you here now, I just have to say that girl, you still got it. Oh, every little thing that turns me on, no matter how long it's been. I can't pretend I don't wish you had never gone. I know you don't want it. And I've been a fool for way too long. When it comes to my heart, wherever you are, girl, Girl, you still got it. Oh, every little thing that turns me on, no matter how long it's been. I can't pretend I don't wish you had never gone. I know.
Auburn, ¿en qué país estamos?
Guatemala.
¿Y cómo se llaman estas ruinas?
Yaxha.
¿Qué ruinas vimos ayer?
Tikal.
Ahora ya hemos visto muchas ruinas, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Cuáles son tus favoritos? ¿O cuáles fueron tus favoritos?
Palenque.
Palenque, ¿por qué?
Porque fue en la selva.
Ah, fue en la selva, muy bien. ¿Cuáles fueron tus ruinas favoritas, Van?
Palenque en Yaxha.
¿Y qué tal Tikal?
Tikal. En Tikal.
Y Tikal también.
Tikal, Yaxha, en Palenque.
¿Y quién construyó todas esas ruinas? Y
Los Mayan.
ya hemos estado de viaje más de 2 semanas. ¿Tú quieres más vacaciones o quieres volver a casa?
Más vacaciones.
¿Qué cosas quieres ver en la vacación?
Ruinas,
¿Y?
cenotes,
¿Y?
playas.
¿Algo más? ¿O eso es todo?
Eso.
Y Connie, ¿tú quieres más vacaciones o quieres volver a casa?
Más vacaciones.
¿Sí? ¿Y qué cosas quieres ver en las vacaciones?
Beach.
¿Qué más?
Playa.
Ok, ¿qué más?
Hammock.
¿La hamaca? Eso fue divertido, ¿verdad? ¿Otra cosa?
Oh, sí. Cenote.
¿Qué más?
And everything.
¿Quién se está portando mejor, tú o Connie?
Me.
¿De veras?
Sí.
¿Quién se está portando mejor, mommy o daddy?
Daddy.
¿Quién se está portando mejor, tú o Auburn?
Auburn. Me.
¿O tú estás portándote mejor? ¿Y cómo se porta Bunsy?
Bien.
¿Quién se porta mejor, mommy o daddy?
Mommy.
Mommy se porta mejor, ¿verdad? Auburn, ¿qué animales hemos visto en la vacación?
Monos.
¿Y?
Iguanas.
¿Y?
Loros.
¿Y?
Mariposas.
¿Y?
No sé.
Ayer vimos unos que nos han comido un plátano.
Pavos.
Pavos también, ¿verdad? So we're on the local bus here after a spectacular morning at Yaxha. We are now headed for an afternoon in Flores. Well, we think Flores. At least we're going to Santa Elena. Let's see if we make it to Flores. Well, we made it as far as Santa Elena, and it seems the preferred mode of transportation here is the moto taxi. So that's what we're taking on into Flores. See how it goes. ¿Y qué tal el mototaxi, bud? Aaron, ¿qué tal el mototaxi? Muchas gracias. And this is Flores. ¿Qué te parece, Aaron? ¿Te gusta? Okay. Dinner time here in Flores for us, and as we've come to expect in the afternoons, a little shower out there for us, but that should be all cleared up by the time we want to head back to El Remate. Now it's starting to come down here.
Call Mom and Dad to find dinner.
Just when it rains.
Storm has gone and the tacos have come in their own special taco holder like this. So we are good to go. And to see a little tortilla making after dinner. Ahora inténtalo.
Did you have fun? What do you say to her? What do you say?
Muchas gracias. Belly's full. We're back on the moto taxi, headed from Flores to Santa Elena. Hoping the bus is still there. Take us back to El Remate. And out of the moto taxi. Which the last time we did this, I believe we had him and her, not her, but we also had 2 duffel bags and a double stroller, so this was actually a little more comfortable. This is the bus to El Remate, and we are going full, apparently, because we're still looking for more people. Hi. Hola. Hola. Today is day 19 for us, and the trip is starting to wind down, but yesterday we saw the last of the Mayan ruins that we're going to see. So what have been, of the 9 sites you've seen, give us your impressions of the Mayan ruins.
They've been great. The ones here in Guatemala were fantastic. I'm really glad we made the effort to come out here, even though it was a long bus ride, but Yaxha and Tikal were really phenomenal.
Alright, now that the trip is kind of winding down here, why don't you give us a rundown of what's still in store?
Today we have a bus that will take us back across to Belize, crossing the Guatemalan border. And tomorrow we may surprise the kids with a trip to the ZOO in Belize City. And then we have an overnight bus to Cancun, and then we get to enjoy one more luxurious, relaxing day on the beach, and then it's home.
Quite understand. And there's so much you're unsure about that you don't wanna let go of my hand. But someday you'll take steps on your own. Someday, those steps will lead you far from home, and you'll feel like you've been left all alone. In that day, I'll promise you that lights will shine for you all along the way. Heaven guide you every step you take, and stars remind you when you lose your way that you'll never walk alone. No, you'll never walk alone. dark to you that you can barely open up your eyes. But there's so much light beyond those shadows, more than you can realize. And someday you'll look out into this life, and someday you'll know its wrongs and all its rights, and you'll see.
Grabarán en los lugares más remotos del planeta.
Estamos a punto de averiguar.
Shuttle bus to the airport.
Hoy estamos perdidos y nos faltan demasiada.
That must mean a vacation is coming to an end. Oi, Buns. He's in there somewhere.
He's looking out this way. They dropped this off, we had to get it.
Avery Conley, ya que estamos saliendo de México, ¿qué tenemos que decirle a México?
Adiós. Adiós, México.
Y gracias. It started with an early morning, so it's only fitting it should end with an early morning. This seems to be the sleeping arrangement for Auburn and Conley. Auburn, Conley. ¿Quién quiere subir en el avión para volver a Jacksonville? ¿Quién quiere volver a casa para jugar con sus juguetes allá en casa? ¿Tú sí quieres, Bud?
Sí.
Okay. Home again, home again.
I see it.
¿Ustedes sí ven Jacksonville? ¿Dónde está?
I see it right there.
¿Sí?
Yeah.
Entonces vamos.
The radar.
Even the toughest road warriors know when it's time to save their energy. While we wait here at the gate in Houston for a healthy pilot and not a sick pilot to take us to Jacksonville, we'll get some parting thoughts here from Jody. So we took a very similar trip a year ago, an extended trip in lands that were not so familiar to us, and the obvious question is, how does that trip compare to this trip that we just took?
I mean, for me, the last trip was not one big long trip. It was 4 different countries, and it felt almost like 4 different trips.
Smashed all together.
Exactly. It conveniently worked out that we could do it, but you know, different climates, different places, different cultures, and this was different in the fact that it was more of the same culture, the same landscape. We saw kind of the same things, the same language, so it felt like more of a continuous trip in Mexico with a little bit of Belize and Guatemala.
And with respect to the attractions we saw, how do these compare to those from the last trip?
I mean, I think here in Mexico there is so much to do in this part. I mean, I can only say for the Yucatan Peninsula. I feel like almost every day we got in something, a big attraction or something really cool, and whereas on the other trip we had to travel pretty far, pretty long to get to the cool ones, and I feel like we got to see a lot more in the amount of time that we got here.
Now, last year when we traveled, you were 5 months pregnant. This time when we traveled, you had a 7-month-old baby. Which is your preference?
Being pregnant.
Because your belly doesn't scream in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Looking at the trip as a whole, would you say it was flagrantly awesome or just appallingly awesome? Somewhere in between, I think.
It was awesome. We'll leave it at that. It was awesome.
Any ideas for the next trip?
No, not one. No idea where the next place will go.
But there will be something.
There will be something.
So stay tuned.
Yes. There's always something.
Auburn and Conley,
What?
where are we?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville? Do you want to go home or more vacation?
More vacation. Go home.
After 3 weeks, more vacation, huh, love?
Yes.
Yes. Did you have a fun trip?
Yes.
Yes.
23 days later, we're back where we started. A whole lot colder, but we've had warm weather in the meantime, so it's all good. All connections have been made. All attractions have been seen. So this one is in the books. Right, Bunchy? You got her? Yeah. So another good trip.
You want to take pictures again?
And time to sign off. But first, quick recap of what just went down.
Upstairs a room in your marching shoes, with the world parading down your street. When you're on, it's a heads full of waves, and no matter what you say, it wasn't right. You belong on your feet and running for the next one's on you, baby, baby. You're in it just for the high times, won't hang on for the lows on the ride, yeah. You'll never see that horizon, baby, baby. You're gonna look till you find one, close your eyes and pray it's the right one. Just hold on, you'll come around again. Might have won this round, might have not dropped out, might have changed that scorecard in your hand. So we let you down and I picked you up. It'll all draw even in the end. When you're on, you're a song in motion, and it always takes my words away. You belong on your feet and running for the next one's on you, baby, baby. You're in it just for the high times, won't hang on for the lows on the ride, yeah. You'll never see that horizon, baby, baby. You're gonna look till you find one, close your eyes and pray it's the right one. Just hold on and you'll come around again. You'll come around again.
Iguanas.
¿Qué quieres hacer tú con las iguanas?
Okay, we're gonna catch watch them, and we're gonna put a fire there, and then we're gonna put them in there, then they're gonna be cooked, then we're gonna eat them all up.
¿Cómo vas a chapar las iguanas?
We're just gonna jump in the sky.
Ah, okay.
Sit up with the radio, sing along with the ones I know, to get through one night
Yeah. ¿Qué quieren?
That hurts me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. We haven't eaten as much. That's not what I'm trying to.
You just think I'm gonna edit that out, Bunty? También vamos a viajar en un bus. ¿Vamos a tener que dormir en un bus? Sí, ¿no? ¿Cuántas noches?
1,
2 noches.
2.
¿Te parece? Okay.
As impressive as all the Mayan ruins we've seen have been, somehow they're just not quite as captivating as that.
All right, thank you, sweet cheeks. Thank you, sweet cheeks. Appreciate it. Thank you, sweet cheeks. These roads are really starting to take a toll on me. That was terrible.
Making our own laundry.
This is about the cutest laundry delivery service you're gonna see. Bueno, señorita, señor, por favor, pásale. En mi cuarto, por favor. Gracias.
Okay, guys, and not nice everything. Not nice everything. What's that mean? Not nice trees. Trees can't talk. No, trees can't talk. Not nice.
Now, I know the trip is still in front of us, so the question is a bit unfair, but to put you on the spot a little, for the folks at home, classic Mayan civilization versus classic Aztec. Compare and contrast.
The Mayans are awesome. Funny, but
Poop it out. Poop it out.
He's looking at the camcorder. He's looking at the camcorder.
¿Sabes lo que ella quiere decir?
¿Qué?
Adiós, cámara.
Adiós, cámara. Adiós, cámara. Adiós, cámara. Adiós, cámara.